Well, Chicago is seeing more violence than it did in 2020, although homicides have tailed off recently after a spike earlier this year. Just last weekend, more than 48 people were shot, including a 2-year-old girl, a 13-year-old boy, and 2 Chicago police officers. And Memorial Day weekend is right around the corner, which is a notoriously violent time in the city. Joining us to discuss this is Benneth Lee, a criminal justice studies instructor at Northeastern Illinois University and co-founder of the National Alliance for the Empowerment of the Formerly Incarcerated. Lee is also a former gang member. And Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain, the executive director of Live Free Illinois. Welcome both of you to Chicago tonight. It's good to have you. So we'll take a look at some of the numbers this year. Some categories of crime are down, but if you look at murder, it's up 22% from 160 last year to 195 this year. Sierra, there's so many things that cause violence. Is there anything that you could attribute a spike this year to?
I would say, one, we know the cause of violence, racism, poverty, and neglect. But with COVID-19, we know that like Black communities were really hit, disproportionately hit by COVID-19. So the trauma that was put on Black communities through COVID-19 just exacerbated the issue of gun violence. And not only just the trauma, but just again, when you're continually neglecting communities, they don't have the resources to cope through other pandemics. This was something just waiting to collide. So I would attribute all of those contributing factors to why violence increased.
All of those things. And Benneth, you know, we've heard reports in the last several months about retaliatory shootings. We have kids getting shot as young as infants, getting caught up in crossfire. Do you see this as mostly gang activity or interpersonal activity?
It's mostly interpersonal activities. You know, you may have a guy that's part of a street gang, but have a personal vendetta against another individual, and then he retaliate. It might come out because the person was gang affiliated, they say it's gang related. But I don't think these are shootings that a gang came together and say, we're gonna do this and we're gonna move together. I think it's a lot of, you know, people just don't know how to go to another person and say, I need to talk with you, let's work this out. Everybody afraid of each other. I'm afraid of what the next man might do, so I'm gonna do it before they do it to me. And people are afraid to communicate. So I think it's more individual versus gangs doing a lot of shootings.
Right, and you were on the show a few weeks ago saying that people just don't feel safe, even more now than in years prior. Let's take a look at what Police Superintendent David Brown had to say about the escalating violence yesterday.
So what we want to do is proceed with an all hands on deck during the peak hours of when all of what we think will happen. You know, think about the last global pandemic we had in this country. What followed was the Roaring '20s. And you know, I don't know if you've read F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. So if all that pent up energy, because we've been quarantined, explodes with all of this, you know, people being out, more people being active in the outdoors, we want to make sure it's safe.
A lot of folks weary of the coming summer months. Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain, the mayor, said there would be, quote, 200,000 opportunities, either summer jobs or recreation for youth. Do you think that's enough to tamp down what typically is a spike in violence in the summer months as kids are not in school?
No, that is not enough. It wasn't enough in previous years, and as we just heard, you named the numbers. Where we're up 22% in homicides and shootings. And so there needs to be a larger investment in a comprehensive strategy in addressing gun violence. So doing the bare minimum or doing business as usual is not acceptable, and there must be a larger investment. And we know that there are opportunities that present itself, especially with the American Rescue Plan dollars, where there's funding available to invest in street outreach, hospital-based intervention, trauma service, mental health services that are led by Black and brown clinicians. So there is an opportunity to really make a serious investment in reducing violence in this critical moment.
So all those wraparound services, not just jobs or recreation, but mental health and violence intervention. And Bennett, that is part of what you do. The U of C Crime Lab put out a report deducing that one of the things that's happening this year are more people are carrying firearms in years past. It just keeps going up every year. Does that square with what you're seeing, just more people in possession of weapons?
Yeah, especially young people. See, these young people, because they don't have the means to legitimately get a Ford card or get concealed carry, but they carrying a gun the same reason why a regular citizen would carry a gun, to protect themselves, afraid that they may get victimized. So you got young people getting these guns and getting them illegal because they can't, they probably got some little infringement on their background where they can't legally get a Ford card or concealed carry, but when they get caught with the gun, they get penalized, right? But it's a lot of fear out there with people working, God-fearing people is afraid. They're getting guns to carry. So is these young people, and they are the target because it's their peers are the one that's getting shot, and it's their peers that's doing the shooting. So they're more afraid than the regular citizens, so they're getting these guns.
Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain, do you hear that from young people that you work with, that they're afraid and they feel that they need the arm to just even stay alive sometimes?
I mean, I hear that from young people, and I hear that from adults. And we know that from the COVID numbers that there was an increase in gun sales and ammunition. So if you have communities flooded with firearms, then there is this piece of folks feel unsafe. So if everyday people were going out and purchasing firearms, why are Black and brown communities scrutinized for also feeling unsafe in their communities as well?
And Bennett, we mentioned that Memorial Day can be a particularly violent weekend, as are holiday weekends in the summer. We hear about police strategies, but they never seem to really do anything. Is there any police strategy that can tamp down a violent weekend, or is this something that's just going to keep happening until the broader issues are solved?
Well, I think we put too much on the police to calm this down. This got to come from the community, these families, brothers that got these relationships, like myself, as you mentioned, I was a former gang leader. I do my part, going back in that old neighborhood where I come from, build a relationship with them little brothers, get them to look at things, because I believe the more they talk to each other, it'll be hard for them to shoot each other, and they'd be more apt to work things out. It's got to come from the community. We just can't put it all on the police.
All right, well, we thank you very much for your perspectives. Our thanks to Bennett Lee and Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain. Thanks so much.